Yo, what's up guys? And in today's video, I'm basically just going to be talking about what is the best class in every Souls game. So let's just get right into it. I'm going to be playing some Dark Souls 2 because that's just kind of the game I'm playing right now. The best class. Alright, so let's go ahead straight away with Demon Souls. The best class. Oh, that's a Dark Souls 2 class there. The best class in Demon Souls by far is Magic. Okay, oh yeah, and another thing too, I might as well just say it as like a disclaimer. You guys are gonna see like one class that is like very overrepresented in this video, but it's just the truth. So in Demon Souls, the best class, I'm sure this is not really a surprise to anybody. Okay, let's be honest here, this is probably not, you know, a big shocker to anyone, but the best class in Demon Souls by far, in my opinion, is Magic. Again, Demon Souls is one of those games, oh, why do I have 33k? Demon Souls is one of those games where I would say the only two games that are like it are Demon Souls and Dark Souls 2 in the series, but I would say the levels in Demon Souls and Dark Souls 2 are harder than the bosses. That's just my opinion.
Bearer of the curse.
But like that's
the king,
in
lest
my
this
opinion,
land swallow you whole.
is kind of the census of Demon Souls and Dark Souls 2. I'm not gonna get too far into it, but because the levels are harder, it's easier to just, you know, it's easier to just use magic, clear out enemies from a distance, not have to engage them, right? Pretty simple, pretty self-explanatory, but, yeah, just, that's what it is. In Dark Souls 1, and not really a surprise here, but I will actually mention something else. Dark Souls 1, the best class, again, you know, not really a surprise to anyone here, I don't think, but the best class is Magic as well. If you are having a hard time with any of these games, just go a Magic class and you will literally just watch enemies disappear. Like, they will just vanish from the sight. And it's just like, it's crazy, to be honest, to see how insane it is. Like, Magic in these games are like, you would think that like they just forgot about trying to balance the game, and that's like what Magic is. It's crazy. You would genuinely think that they forgot to balance, like they just slipped up and forgot to balance the game. Oh, is that a Dark Souls 2 classic? I think that's a Dark Souls 2 classic there, boys. No, but the next one I would say is probably, as well in Dark Souls 1, is another, like, honorable mention, I guess, is Black Knight weapons. Black Knight weapons in the new game, so the first playthrough of the game, Black Knight weapons are disgustingly broken. They're disgustingly overpowered. They just are. They're just so overpowered. Right? I mean, it's pretty crazy. Getting slimed here. Yeah, strong. It's because the Black Knight weapons, they're easy to upgrade in Dark Souls 1. Like, I find they're very, very easy to upgrade. And you can see in the other Dark Souls games, they made it more. I don't know about Dark Souls 2, but I know in Dark Souls 3, they made it cost more to upgrade, I'm pretty sure. Which is kind of cool. Like, bro, this is the most like Dark Souls 2 game ever. And yeah, Okay, Dark Souls 2, again, I'll mention two things. Dark Souls 2 again. Surprise, surprise, here they still really hadn't learned how to balance magic yet, but in Dark Souls 2, it's also magic. Again, same sort of thing as Demon Souls there that applies, is just like the thing with the most difficulty is in these games is the fact that there is holy, these spiders do damage, bro. Oh my goodness. Oh damn. Why are they bringing spiders back? Like, nobody liked these things. Anyway, yeah, I don't really know what the thought process was there. By the time they got to Dark Souls 2, I don't know how they hadn't already said, like, oh yeah, oh shit, I'm fucked. Okay. I'm not going to lie, I completely forgot this was even a boss fight, I'm not gonna lie. Oh, I have 16 life gems, so should be fine here. But yeah, no, I don't know why, or like, what the decision was around that, or why, why they thought it would be a good idea to, yeah, I don't know why by the time they got to Dark Souls 2 they thought it would be a good idea to, like, include magic as just literally the best thing in the entire game. I'm not really sure, to be completely honest, why it was still the best class, but it was, okay, like, unironically. Another honorable mention though in Dark Souls 2, I would say, is piercing weapons, like the rapier and kind of like weapons like those are really, really strong in this game. Because they just have a ton of damage, they're super fast, they have a ton of damage, and, oh, what the hell? I'm already getting a Titanite slab from this, what the hell? Anyway, that's Dark Souls 2. For Bloodborne, it's a little weird with Bloodborne, actually. Oh, this is the spider boss. Oh, Jesus. With Dark Souls 2, it's a bit weird. Or, Bloodborne, it's a bit weird because I would honestly say Bloodborne actually had, like, somewhat decent balance, to be honest. Who is this dude?
Something seems to be bothering. Yes, I can tell. You have doubts. But I am regret, anguish. Together, they are the... But now, you're lost. You poor... Yes, how tiny. But if your heart is yet sincere, now is the chance.
How cool is magic?
Anyone, no matter, sure. Whenever you are...
I'm insane, buddy. But yeah, no, I think, they finally started to realize that, I will say this about Bloodborne, they finally started to realize, like, oh yeah, there's not really any way we can... They almost kind of just gave up on magic, to be honest. And in Bloodborne, they made magic not very good. It was okay, well, I'm gonna get flack with it because you can make it good, but like, it was not very good, to be honest. It was pretty, in my opinion, Magic was pretty not great, in my opinion. It was just not very good in Bloodborne. It was a little wonky. It was just more weird than it was bad, but in Bloodborne, I guess I would say, like, the best weapon in the game was actually the first weapon you get. It's that cleaver
Bearer.
with it closed, where you can just attack super fast. But other than that, I honestly say Bloodborne was pretty balanced. For Dark Souls 3, so Dark Souls 3, you can tell by Bloodborne and Dark Souls 3, which I do think is the peak of Souls. You could tell that they knew that magic was a problem. And in Dark Souls 3, magic is, in my opinion, I don't know, you can make it broken. You still can make magic broken. Obviously, you can make anything broken, but magic, in my opinion, hit a pretty big wall. You know, it hit a really big wall there for a little bit after the after the run that it had with Demon Souls, Dark Souls 1, and Dark Souls 2, Magic hit a bit of a brick wall there in Dark Souls 3. Magic definitely wasn't too good, and kind of spamming, just in general, spamming became a really broken thing in Dark Souls 3. So spam rolling, spamming attacks, spamming just in general, right? And you know, that obviously wasn't, that wasn't favored, so let's see, how much agility do I have? Here, I just gotta see. Okay, 100. Oh, it's regardless of. I want to start using the greatsword. To be honest, I'm pretty tired of the straight sword. Anyway, let me just chill here and in the Jula and finish the video. So, I would say in Dark Souls 3, easily the best weapon class was straight swords. Any straight sword, really. Doesn't matter which one. I would say the biggest offenders, though, was probably, I would say the biggest three were probably the Astora straight sword. Astora straight sword was really, really strong. I would say, oh man, what's it called there? There's this one sword that's really, really strong, and I can't think of the name. And then, of course, I would say the best weapon, just in general, in that game. Oh, sorry, I just looked at them. The best weapon in that game, I would say, was the Irithyll. Straight sword. Right, that weapon was crazy. I can't even lie. That weapon was nuts. That weapon was fucked. So, there's a lot of, the twin blades were just really good, and yeah. I would say Sekiro is a bit of a weird one, obviously, because there isn't really I wouldn't really include Sekiro in this, to be honest, just because, like, how do you really, to be honest, like, I feel like it's a bit
Always
weird
open for
to
business.
include Sekiro, so I'm not gonna. But you could, I guess, make a thing that, like, fireworks or using some sort of combination of those gadgets was really strong. Like against the 8, you use fireworks against the 8. Yeah, whatever. I would say the next boss that you would use, I guess, would be like, well, just in general, just spamming fireworks and then hitting twice, spamming fireworks, hitting twice, spamming. Like, that was a pretty good strategy against really any boss, or a lot of the bosses, some of the bosses anyway. Elden Ring, again, we kind of went right back to, we went right back to the start. Elden Ring, it's magic. It's magic. I'm not like, Common Azure, you're literally Goku, like, You're literally using a nuclear fission blast on a boss. Yeah, just not really anything to comment there. There's a lot of bosses in Elden Ring that aren't as aggressive. They're just not very aggressive. That's okay, but they're just not as aggressive. They're not as hostile. So, which, you know, at the same time makes it way easier to use, right? So,
I'll be around.
This later. So that's kind of, you know, but the thing with Elden Ring, I will comment on, is the thing with Elden Ring is that you could make anything in Elden Ring broken. Like, you know, it was very much the intention that your character in general was just meant to be overkitted. You're meant to just use a bunch of shit. That was like, you're just supposed to do that. So, yeah. Alright, well guys, that was pretty much it. You know, if you guys liked the video, please subscribe, and yeah, I'll make another video soon. Alright, see you guys, have a great day.